On today's episode of the Bolt Crew podcast, we aren't done talking about the Chargers' impressive win over the Vikings. We speak about Justin Herbert making a public appearance at a Laker game with his celebrity girlfriend, and we recap the week that was in the NFL. That all starts now on the Bolt Crew podcast.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the Bolt Crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the Bolt Crew, best up in the business. It's the Bolt Crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Bolt Crew podcast. Dave Pele, Josh Pele, and Mario Heron, who will join us in that square in just a second. Appreciate everybody joining us on a Monday. Normally we're on Tuesday, so this week the programming is going to go like this. We're obviously going today, first show on a Monday before Monday Night Football. Then we're going to come back on Wednesday. It's going to be 2 o'clock Pacific time, and then we'll be ready to go for Sunday's post-game show against the Titans. A perfect matchup for the Chargers this week. So a lot to talk about this Charger team. We feel a lot better than we did a week ago at this time. Again, the Chargers with the big win last Thursday against the Vikings. Every team suffers a couple of injuries here and there. I'm seeing people that write in our chat who obviously aren't Charger fans. Don't be impressed by your team. Our team was banged up with injuries. Dude, we're banged up all the time. This Charger team has been banged up since 1961. So you can stop with all that. I mean, that has basically been it. I don't know what the hell happened in the 60s, but basically the 1 year they had in LA, I'm sure they were banged up too. Then they moved to San Diego, banged up there too. And it's been that way. So we don't want to hear it. It's part of the NFL. The Chargers were impressive as could be on Thursday night in front of everybody. And even though there are a bunch of games on Sunday and you start forgetting about what happened on Thursday, if you're a Charger fan, you did not forget what happened. That game was very impressive and a much-needed win. And it was an impressive win, Josh, just not the fact that they played 4 quarters and snuck by with a higher score at the end. They dominated all aspects of the game. They dominated. And for people who are looking to say the Chargers are on our schedule and 2 weeks ago, hey, can't wait to face the Chargers, I don't think people feel that way anymore. Right now, you're looking at a team that is a playoff team. And we'll get into it more and more throughout the show as we break down guys that are in the playoffs already or teams that we think will be in the playoffs. Josh, you call this in the summertime about the strength of this division. You can make an argument the 3 best teams in the AFC are all in the same division. Nobody wants to face the Broncos. Nobody wants to face the Chiefs, and nobody wants to face the Chargers in the playoffs. Mark my words.
Not only are the possible 3 best teams in the AFC all from the AFC West, I don't even know who the second best division in the NFL is at this point. Would you say it's the NFC North? I don't know. I mean, the AFC West is so strong with the top 3 teams. It's incredible. I mean, the Broncos right now are definitely a top team in the NFL. Chiefs look like they might be back to where we're used to seeing them. And then the Chargers team, I think, is the most talented out of the 3 teams. The win over the Vikings, for anybody that's saying that we were depleted with injuries, talking about the Vikings, we had no Rashawn Slater, all-pro tackle, no running back. We are on our 3rd-string running back. And the offensive line is just beat up all over the place. I don't want to hear excuses from any team saying that they're banged up. Every team is banged up 8 weeks into the season. I'm just happy the Chargers finally put a complete game together.
No, they did. I mean, they completely put a complete game together. They were impressive. I'm seeing people already in the chat, people upset that Dallas didn't put a better showing together against the Broncos. Look, the Broncos are one of the better teams in this league. It stinks for us that we already have at least 1 win against both the Broncos and the Chiefs. But look, that division is tough. And you talk about which team's the best team in the AFC or the second best team in the AFC. If it's not the AFC West, you know, you brought up the AFC North. The North, I think, is a bunch of pretenders. And it's funny because the Baltimore Ravens won a game yesterday without Lamar Jackson. They're 2-5. And I was putting together all these trade proposals a couple weeks ago on why, you call the Ravens. Josh, according to Vegas, the Ravens are supposed to win this division. Vegas isn't in the process of having a favorite team. They're in the process of not losing money. So if Vegas thinks the Ravens are the best team in that division, dude, I'm not impressed with anything that goes on in the division. We saw the Steelers yesterday, and they look like the Steelers we thought they were. Just a team that focuses on defense, that is relying on old man Aaron Rodgers, that doesn't figure out a way to win in today's NFL. And the Steelers aren't a team I don't think a lot of people have to be concerned about. As a matter of fact, Mike Tomlin should be concerned. I know the Steelers don't fire coaches often, but, man, offensive coaches are the way to go. And so if the Steelers are going to keep running it this way, they aren't going to have success. Joe Flacco and the Bengals, one of the worst losses of the entire season. By the way, Mario is not on acid or anything right now, or shrooms or anything else. He's doing this show off an iPad, so he literally has to touch it with his hands. It looks like he's literally trying to touch Josh and I like a 3-year-old at the zoo. But he has it together. He's on an iPad. It looks like you're like down the hallway. Like,
I know.
Can you get closer to that goddamn thing?
I've tried. I've been dealing with this all day. It looks like a wide shot.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying different stuff here. Like we're shooting the movie Avatar. So just think of it like that. It's like the Goodfellas scene where it's all in one shot. It's all in one shot.
So anyway, look, going back to the division. And by the way, as we're talking about different teams in the AFC, Mario, teams that may be scary, I'll say this about the Buffalo Bills, because everybody always seems to say, you know, if my team doesn't win, I like the Bills, because everyone feels bad for the Bills. They're in a crap hole of a city. They're ripping their stadium down after this year. It's always been sad as hell. And, you know, I don't even know where they play now. It used to be like War Memorial Coliseum, like depressing as hell. And everything about Buffalo is depressing, but they got cool colors because they match our flag. And everyone's like, screw it, I'll root for the Bills if the Chargers are out. The Bills suck. I'm not impressed with the Bills at all. The Bills have not beat a winning team yet. Not even close. They beat a team that is impressive. When I mean winning team, a team that's a competitive playoff team. Look at the Bills' wins, and you go, none of those teams have a chance to compete. The fact the Patriots were able to beat the Bills a few weeks ago show you the Bills aren't the real deal or shouldn't be considered a team that you go, hey, I'm worried about the Bills. Great game on paper next week. Mario, is there a goddamn helicopter in your goddamn apartment?
Can you guys hear that? I didn't know if you could hear that.
We can hear that.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's more frustrating or listen to Mark DeRosa right now on MLB Network with his cell phone going off nonstop and going, I'm sorry, that's my phone. And I'm like, well, dude, it's going off 5 straight segments. Why don't you reach for it and turn it off in a commercial break? Good God. All right. It's like there's an earthquake going on in LA. I don't know what the hell's going on in Chicago right now. Let's focus here. The Bills stink. Patriots might be the real deal. Okay. So at the same time, I'm not worried about the goddamn Buffalo Bills. And the Bills taking on the Chiefs next week. And I don't know if you guys saw the clip. Oh, it's the same thing now when the Bills play the Chiefs as when Peyton Manning used to play against Tom Brady. It's not. It doesn't feel that way. You're reaching for stories here, Tony Romo. It doesn't work that way. Not worried about anyone as far as trying to get to the Super Bowl except for the teams that are inside our division. And those games coming up at the end of the year when we face the Chiefs again in KC and the Broncos again in Denver, those are the ones that I'm most concerned about because I really want to host a playoff game.
Yeah, when you look at the top teams in the AFC, I always look at the quarterbacks first. I believe if you don't have a top quarterback, and I'm talking about top half of the NFL, not top 5, just top half of the NFL, then I don't really think you have a true shot in the playoffs. To me, the Steelers are the only team in the AFC that's competing for a playoff spot that doesn't have a top quarterback in the NFL. When I watch Aaron Rodgers play, to me, there's a lot to be desired. I understand he's over 40 years old. He's way past his prime. But when I'm watching them play against the Packers, I'm saying this quarterback is not good. When you look at the other teams in the AFC, I believe they have all top quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is one of the top quarterbacks right now. Drake May is one of the top quarterbacks. Justin Herbert's definitely a top quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, Lamar Jackson, and then you have Aaron Rodgers. To me, they are the only team competing for the playoffs that don't have a quarterback that can will them to victory at this point. I don't know if you guys disagree with me on this, but to me, the Steelers are not very good. The Ravens are also not very good, but somebody does have to win that division.
Yeah, the Steelers, that defense is also horrendous. I mean, I think we can all of us right here can get 5 touchdowns on them. They're old. They don't hit hard. You got to worry about TJ Watt, and that's it. Jalen Ramsey's not the Jalen Ramsey of before. Porter's not a bad corner, but it's either a touchdown or a great play made by him. There's no in between. That defense is really, really struggling. And when your defense struggles like that, that means your QB has to be perfect. And Aaron Rodgers is solid in his late career, but he's not perfect like he used to be. If he was, that way, then I would consider the Steelers to be dangerous, but he's not, so I don't. That and Packers win, and everyone has a bad day because they win, and no one cares about the Packers. But, Dave, I do kind of agree with you on the Bills thing. Like, there's a chance that Ed Oliver tore his bicep, and he might be done for the season. Like, these injuries are piling up for Buffalo, and just more bad luck's coming their way. And this was going from a season where it seemed destined that they're going to win a Super Bowl to I think they're just a freaky team in the playoffs, but just aren't going to do anything. I think they're going to be a one and done.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wouldn't be afraid of the Bills. Josh, I know that sounds weird to say because Josh Allen, as good as he is, look, we saw what the Bills did a few years ago when we talk about salary caps and everything else. The Bills kind of mortgaged themselves for those few years, and then they couldn't pay their defense, right? And then all of a sudden, guys are gone. And then they're even bringing back some of the guys they let go because they stunk when they went to other teams. And the Bills just aren't the same. I tell you, I think the Bills will look back at this point of their franchise and when they fell short and go, the thing that was missing the entire time was really they had the wrong head coach. You know, honestly, Josh Allen should have had the offensive genius. What I'm going to say is going to sound crazy, and people are going to get pissed off when I say it right now. And unless you're, I think, a true football fan, you'll understand what I'm saying. The Bills would have been better off keeping Brian Daboll as a coach and letting McDermott go, because Daboll and Josh Allen had a great relationship. He's an offensive mind. Daboll has nothing in New York or New Jersey with the Giants. I mean, the fact that he was relying on 2 rookies for success this year was ridiculous. But if Daboll had stayed with the Bills and they got rid of McDermott, they would have been, I think, better off and a better chance of reaching that Super Bowl.
I don't disagree with you. I also think the Bills aren't the best team in that division. Am I crazy? I'm watching these Patriots games, and this is a good team, dude, like a really good team. They have a great coach. If we're doing our head coaching rankings, Vrabel would be in my top 5. Vrabel is a phenomenal coach.
He's coach of the year, right?
Coach of the year, without it. Him or Steichen. Steichen's up there, too.
It's a good point. Good point.
Yes, Steichen's probably coach of the year right now. But I'm watching this Patriots team and thinking this is a really good team. I'm not sure the Bills are better than the Patriots. I'd actually rather play the Bills than the Patriots at this point. When you watch this Bills team, I'm not very scared of that defense. That defense has tons of injuries. Joey Bosa is a guy that I would love to play as a Chargers fan. I can't stand Joey Bosa at all. Right now, Drake May is not as good as Josh Allen. I don't think he's on his level. But to me, Drake May is definitely a top 8 quarterback in the NFL at this point.
Okay, I don't disagree with you about the Patriots. I think they're frisky. But I'll say this. The wins that they've had have been a little sketchy. So this win streak, you took out the Panthers. You beat the Bills in Buffalo. I'll give you that. That was a fantastic win. But then you beat the Saints by 6, who are now in a QB battle, I guess, if you will. Shout out Spencer Rattler. Who would have thought that was coming? Everyone in America. You beat the Titans 31-13. And then you beat the Browns 32-13. And then you have the Falcons after this. Falcons are officially the high team. Just they're high all the time. And sometimes that's a fun high, and sometimes that's a bad high. You determine the high. Well, they determine the high. And you just shouldn't bet on them. Never bet on high. And then they have the Buccaneers, which should be a hard game, but then they play the Jets and the Bengals and the Giants. This schedule for them is just insanely easy. How good are they really? That I don't know. But if you had to do a list of coaches that you just don't want to face in playoffs because they'll know every little rule, every little hole in the rule, it is Mike Vrabel. And if he gets home field advantage in Foxborough, Dave, that's a problem I would like not to have.
I mean, who are we kidding? It is a tremendous home field advantage playing in Foxborough. It is. I mean, even the way that stadium is built, which is bizarre, that huge cutout to create the win problem on field goals is kind of crazy. Look how much money they sacrificed by leaving that giant space in the stadium. You guys remember what I'm talking about when you look back at this? Josh, you were there in person. You know what it's like being in that stadium. They had that huge cutout. Those are thousands of seats they could have made cash on. But like, no, we're going to make this a little bit different. And the weather is a factor. I mean, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Man, it also helps, when you every home game you play in the playoffs is a field you're familiar with and the wind you're familiar with. It's a huge benefit. Maybe the best home field advantage going when you sit there and break it down. I mean, god dang, when you never move your back row, it's hard to win a game. It's a little black sheep line for you playing checkers.
Yeah, I mean, if we had to do our rankings of the AFC right now, where would you put the Chargers?
Okay, I got it. You ready? I'm going to give you my top 5. It's funny you asked. Did not know you're going to ask that. I have the Colts number 1 still. Okay.
Agree.
I have the Broncos number 2. I have the Chiefs number 3. Okay. I know that hurts. I have the Chargers number 4. And I have the Patriots number 5. As of right now, today, I think that in that order, that's the strength of teams in the AFC. That's my opinion. What do you
Yeah,
got?
we know it's your opinion. You're the one that just gave
Well,
the
you
answer.
rolled your eyes the entire time I started talking. I mean, you ask a question and then you roll your eyes. Doesn't make me feel too good.
Why are
about
Why are the Broncos better than the Chiefs?
Yeah, why? I'm not. I don't get. I'm with Josh. I'm confused here, Chief.
I don't think the Chiefs are as talented as the way they're playing. All right, I'll take talent in the end. And look, I know, Mara, you hate Bo Nix, and you're going to be anti-Bo Nix. So the day he walks into Canton one day, whatever it is, Bo Nix is pretty goddamn good. It's pretty good, man. You know, he hasn't fallen on his face the way a lot of people predicted. He's decent. I mean, Drake May is good. Bo Nix is good. I mean, if you're a fan of either one of those teams, you're like, dude, I have a lot of faith in my second-year quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to talk about Bo Nix and Drake May. Those are the two top quarterbacks that are young, right? In the AFC, I think those are the next two guys up that are super young. Well, Bo Nix is probably older than me, but guys that are younger that got drafted recently. When you watch the Patriots, you know who he looks like, and people are going to hate that I said this probably. He looks a lot like Justin Herbert. I'm not saying he is Justin Herbert, but he plays a lot like Justin Herbert. He's very good. He's very good. When Justin Herbert uses his legs like he did against the Vikings, Mario, he is the best quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not saying that because this is a Chargers podcast. He is. It adds another dimension to his game. You cannot prepare for the Chargers when Justin Herbert's using his legs. We have the running game, hopefully when Hampton comes back, and then we have all these receiving targets. The Chargers, to me, are right there at the top of the AFC and the NFL when Justin Herbert uses his legs. That offense is crazy explosive.
I also think that when we have Joe Alt, we're one of the best teams in the AFC. I mean, we saw last week how important he was to this offensive line and how when he's in there, this whole thing changes and there's optimism. And even, we were really worried about the Derwin James injury. Turns out it's just a mild ankle sprain or low grade ankle sprain, and he could be back this week. If not, he's back the week after. Honestly, I know it's any given Sunday, but I've seen enough Titans football. It's okay if he misses this week. I mean, my lordy, do they suck. And Mike McCoy's not a good coach still. Dave, you left off the Bills in your top 5.
Because they haven't beaten a solid team.
Okay, but I think I still would trust them.
Over who?
I would move the Pats up. I'd probably move the Pats up to 4. And I'd say Chargers and Bills are. I mean, you had to put the Bills on the Chargers based off record. At least, the Chargers have a couple bad losses. New York's a bad loss.
Yes. Okay, look, here's the deal. Patriots lost to the Raiders at the beginning of the year. Patriots have played great football and beat the Bills, okay? And beat the Bills. By the way, I'm so distracted by this guy chat on the side. I should probably close out. By the way, look, you can say anything you want about me because don't misquote me here. Right here, this comment, I know has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Dave didn't like Bo Nix before. Interesting now. BS. I'm the guy that was pushing Bo Nix from the very beginning. Am I right? I am. I'm the one guy on the show that was pushing Bo Nix because I said he's seen a bunch of football. Him and Aaron Rodgers were in the same high school graduating class. That was my point.
You said War Eagle right after, and I was like, hey.
I hate Auburn. Hate them. All right. But anyway, forget that. God dang it. I wish you didn't write that. Now I'm like a little kid looking at the shiny object. So here's the deal. Mario, I just don't want to give credit to the Bills until they beat someone that I think is a quality playoff team.
Yeah, to me, the AFC is a lot stronger than the NFC. It's going to be harder to get into the playoffs from the AFC than is the NFC. And it usually is that way for me, too. When I look at the NFC, I know we don't want to spend a lot of time in the NFC, but there's 3 teams that you're kind of concerned about in the NFC. You got the Eagles, you have the Lions, and maybe the Packers. I don't know how many teams in the NFC you're truly scared of at this point. To me, the AFC is just a lot stronger. And go and talk about the Derwin James situation. Now we're going to talk about it when we lead up to the Titans game. But I'm with Mario. I would rest him a week and have him healthy for the Steelers. And there's no game in the NFL that's an automatic win. But if there was a such thing as an automatic win, it would be this upcoming week against the Titans.
I have a question for you guys. This team got 2 of the best players back on defense. They looked really good this past weekend, but it was against a very shaky offense. It looks like it's trending downwards once again. What about the Ravens? Are we really giving up on them in that division?
Okay, you weren't here when we were kind of talking about the Ravens just for a quick second. So Vegas today said the Ravens are supposed to win that division. The odds are they say that Ravens win their division. And so Mario, as we said before, Vegas doesn't have a favorite team. Vegas is just in the business of not losing money. So you should keep your eyes open. People did say it to me too when I was saying a couple weeks ago we should trade for Derrick Henry or make a trade here. They're like, hey, look at the Ravens schedule the rest of the way. Don't give up on the Ravens. And sure enough, the Ravens right now, according to Vegas, are supposed to win that division.
I don't think that says as much about the Ravens as it does the Steelers.
Yeah.
That's not a great football team. You can make an argument that might be the worst division in the AFC is the AFC North. That is a bad division.
Yep.
And
it's never a bad division.
2 other teams have a QB controversy. Like Flacco's hurt. He's day-to-day right now. So they're probably going to have to put in what's his name. That sucks. So you have 2 QBs on that team that's going to have to play. Browns, everyone keeps asking about Shedeur Sanders. So you have that. And then Pittsburgh defense is just awful. So, and you have a guy that if he's one hit away from just calling the retirement early. So Ravens literally are just primed to be there. And even if, they're in the playoffs, I know it's a down year, but like, I don't want to face Lamar. I don't want to face Roquan. I don't want to face Humphreys. I don't want to face any of those cats.
Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, I'm all set.
Also, I want to give credit. I know the Chargers didn't play yesterday, but Khalil Mack, when he had that tackle in the first quarter of that Packers Steelers game, was impressive. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw that at all. Mike Tirico announced Khalil Mack with a tackle, like in the first series.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You caught that too.
I had to rewind it and go, that guy just said Khalil Mack. Dude, what? Jeez.
That's a bad broadcast team. That is just not a good broadcast team.
Collinsworth was like, I was the one getting criticized. This guy just yelled out Khalil Mack.
If I'd have ranked the broadcast teams out of guys I'd want to hang out with, they would be towards the bottom. Like I'd much rather hang out with Buck and Aikman. And that's not even saying a lot. I don't even know if I'd want to hang out with those guys. I would want to hang out with Kirk Herbstreit. I would never want to hang out with Al Michaels. Al Michaels wouldn't want to hang out with me. What is this guy doing here with the backwards hat? I don't want him here. Kirk Herbstreit would talk to me. Kirk Herbstreit actually lives 10 minutes from my house in Nashville. But Collinsworth and Tirico are just a bad broadcast team, right? Everybody agrees on that?
Dude, here's the deal, man. Mario, you're younger than all of us, okay?
Yeah.
Come on. Collinsworth's that guy that when you go out drinking with a bunch of friends, that you just turn to the guy next to you and go, dude, I swear to God, I'm going to choke this guy out before the end of the night. Like, he's that guy at the table, and you're like, dude, I'm choking this guy out.
I'm going to be honest with you. I love him.
Why?
I think that him just doing it, now here's a guy, and there goes it.
What the F?
That was bad, folks. All right, you guys can take it from here while I go fix everything.
Collinsworth leads the league in saying sus things, as kids like to say. He says so many things that make me uncomfortable during the game with gaping holes. And the way that he talks about Patrick Mahomes is just incredible.
It's
like,
weird.
How many ways can you what Patrick Mahomes during a broadcast?
Yeah.
It makes it uncomfortable for everyone.
It's true. Chris Collinsworth is a king of Patrick Mahomes porn. It's ridiculous. Well, this is name dropping here. I got a close friend of mine, or used to be a very close friend of mine, neighbor, coached her kid, Josh teammates with him. She was his girlfriend in high school. And I was like, it makes a lot of sense because they're one and the same. Aren't they the same people? She's the same as he is. They talk the same.
Yeah, they do.
Things are messed up in Florida. Chris Collinsworth is out of control. His pro football focus, good for him for finding a way to make that money and stuff. But dude, he's a big dope. Always has been.
I don't think he's that bad though. Like I like the catchphrase he has.
Which one's that? Here's a guy.
Now here's a guy. I love that.
I think his brain's moving so slow that he says stuff like that to basically get his thoughts in order.
Can't stand that dude.
I can't stand him.
Rich Eisen does that too, where he talks super slow when he's trying to think of his next point. Like,
I can't.
God.
I think Eisen's good, like on a show. I think he's fine. Broadcasting a game, I cannot do it.
Terrible.
Eisen's one of those guys who gets to do play-by-play because it's part in his contract. Like I want to do play-by-play games. He's not because he's the best options, because he writes it into his contract. Here's the deal, Mar. You got little nieces and nephews, and Josh, one day when you have kids, you'll see this. This is what kids do when you ask them, like you're going through multiplication tables. What's 6 times 3? And the kid will go, what's 6 times 3?
What is that noise,
6 times
Mario?
3 is 18. And they say the whole thing back to you because they need time to think. That's Collinsworth needs time to think. Mario, I don't know what the hell's going on today over there. It's insane. You're like Uncle Buck in Chicago. Everything's a mess.
No, it's they're deciding to rebuild half the freaking building today, and they're just banging away like there's no end. Like we're in a war trying to build weaponry.
Good Lord.
It's all right, man. If you want to come back on Wednesday, we'll forgive you for that. No skin off our back. We're fine. We want you here, but if you want to take the day off, you've got a lot to catch up. I'm actually going to give you a lot of credit right here. So you do a rundown for every show, which I really appreciate because you work the hardest on this show out of everyone. And you wrote down a few points. Jonathan Taylor, you put as a lock for Offensive Player of the Year. I think you're right, dude. I think that offensive line is so good, and they rely on him so much. He's going to end up with about 20 touchdowns and maybe 1,800 yards on the season. I think he is a lock for Offensive Player of the Year.
I think so too, and I think it would have been 4 games in a row. Would have been if 3 rushing touchdowns would have been the first time in history. He's playing out of his mind, and MVP usually goes to the best team in the NFL who has the best player. Right now, that is the Indianapolis Colts to the best team, and the best player on that team is Jonathan Taylor, and they go as far as he goes. And I know it's a quarterback award, and that's what we've kind of made it. But guys, if it doesn't go to Jonathan Taylor, it might be a disservice to the award.
Yeah, you're right. He's on pace to run away with this thing. Look, straight out, what the Colts have done has been the most amazing thing in the NFL this year. Nobody saw this coming, right? Their owner passes away. All of a sudden, the Colts are a good team, better than a good team. The Colts, it's not a fluke anymore. The Colts have played extremely well. They won game again as they lost to the Rams. They should have beat the Rams. That was a weird situation. The Colts are insanely good, and I don't think it's a fluke thing. I mean, if they don't win the Super Bowl, no one's going to be surprised because it's still Daniel Jones, and nobody completely is all in on Daniel Jones. But, man, they're playing really good football. What they did against the Titans yesterday, nobody was surprised by that because they've beaten good teams already. But, man, it's not even just team of the year, franchise of the year. What that franchise has done, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in the NFL.
Yeah, I've never seen a turnaround by a team like this before. I also think Jonathan Taylor is going to get MVP. I don't know the last time we saw an MVP that wasn't a quarterback. Was it Adrian Peterson, I believe, was the last time a non-quarterback won MVP, but I think he will be the MVP of the season. And also, I think there's a lock for Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, 5 more sacks yesterday. They get killed because that team is awful, but he has 5 sacks. He has 10 on the season. He is also going to end up with 20. The number is just going to be 20 sacks. Myles Garrett, I think, is going to run away with Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut you off right here, Mario. I know it's your turn to say something, but F you, Myles Garrett. I mean, this is what you signed up for. Don't complain about the scoreboard at any point. You took the money, you demanded a trade, then the money was too good, and you immediately said the team aspect and the scoreboard doesn't mean anything in my career. It's all about me, my bank account, and the Hall of Fame, and you're going to get all those things, but you're never going to be a guy that plays in a meaningful playoff game or a Super Bowl, and it's going to be over. And for people like us and people in the chat who love football because it's the ultimate team sport, you decide to make it an individual sport. So he can go ahead and end up with 50 sacks a year for all I care about. As long as he never plays in a playoff game, I hope he's satisfied with his decision. You hear that question all the time to pro athletes. Would you rather win a championship and not be a Hall of Famer? Would you rather be a Hall of Famer and, win a championship, not be a Hall of Famer, be a Hall of Famer, not win a championship? And Myles Garrett completely took the money, took the individual aspect of a team game, and I have no respect for him for it.
I don't either. It seems like he's on the career path of, hey, I'm going to hit 33. Now I'm just going to ring chase and sign a bunch of 1-year contracts with a bunch of teams that are in contention. So similar, but not so similar to Von Miller kind of recently, where he's just signing these 1-year deals to teams that are just competing for a title. That seems where Myles Garrett's going. Guys, I had another take that I wrote down that was kind of like a hot take that I thought of late last night. Does it pay to be second? And what I mean by that is the QBs that have since been taken first overall in the past 8 years, right? Or so, whatever you want to say it. It seems like every time we have this hype for this first rounder QB, it's always this second guy that it is. Caleb and Jaden. I'm officially saying it. Caleb's not it. Jaden might have been it. Drake might have been it. Bo maybe be more of it than Caleb. And then you have CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Bryce Young's not it. And Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's it either. And that QB class as a whole is just kind of pitiful. But I don't think that that's anything special. So it's just a weird fascination that I've kind of seen where it's almost, you almost want the second picks. I feel like you get to evaluate them more and not have like more pressure just to take someone because of the hype, Dave.
Okay, look, number one, it's a dangerous topic to bring up around here because we had the second pick. His name was Ryan Leaf. It was a goddamn disaster. Okay. It was like, this is the
recently, I mean.
This is the one team in the NFL you don't bring this up, but since you brought it up, Ryan Leaf is our nightmare, and we ended up with the second guy. The other thing is it's always a product, Mario, which franchise takes you. I mean, there's a reason teams are picking number one. You know, if you've watched Cam Ward yesterday, Mario, I imagine you watched probably a lot of that Colts-Titans game because you were in Indiana yesterday. Cam Ward's not as bad as what it looks like. He's not. He's. I'm not saying he's a future Hall of Famer, but Cam Ward might be the best player on that team, and he's a rookie, and he's so frustrated with everything around him. I feel bad for him. Like, he's frustrated with both coaches. The fact Mike McCoy is sitting there punting it when you're down by getting 20-something points and it's 4th and 4 and Cam Ward wants to strangle him, you feel bad. It's the product of your environment. Bo Nix, as much as we hate Sean Payton, it was a perfect setup, right, for him to get with an offensive coach like Sean Payton. Caleb Williams, I don't know what the hell Caleb Williams' deal is. Maybe he's figuring it out with an offensive coach now in his second year. But Caleb played like hell yesterday, and they should have won. Without Lamar Jackson, there's no way the Bears should have lost that game. Would have been their fifth straight win, and people start believing in him. Jaden Daniels being hurt, and I know he's expected back soon. I have a feeling this is going to be Jaden Daniels' career. You're going to see him hurt a lot. It's his body type, right? He's not a big dude. What does Jaden Daniels even 200 pounds? Probably not. It's probably going to be a lot of beatings he's going to take on that body right there. And there's a reason why, you go for guys like Drake Mays or Justin Herbert's, guys with the bigger bodies that can withstand the hits.
Yeah, there's a lot of good young quarterbacks in the NFL, and somebody, B. Hannon, says Joe Burrow's pretty good. He was the number one quarterback. Mario, what's your opinion on that?
I did. Yeah. Okay, I should rephrase this. I didn't look too deep into it, and I was just kind of speaking from the heart. So sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Like I said, it was a hot take. Hot takes usually bad takes.
When you wrote that down, did you write it on your computer or did you write it on a piece of paper?
Ha 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 ha, dude, that's so funny. Why don't you get your glasses on so you can read some damn comments?
Right. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen here, and I love sharing my screen. Everybody knows I just love sharing my screen. I'm gonna put a picture on my screen, and just give me your reaction to this. What do you think when you see what I'm about to put on my screen here? All right, what do you think about that?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Why do you like
that? Easy, Dave. Wow. Holy horny. Pack it in, brother.
No, I'm not even going that direction. I like it because Justin Herbert's a guy to me that has always avoided the cameras. And I always say Justin Herbert's an interesting guy. You're in the number 2 media market. You're a quarterback of a major team. And yet you never know anything about Justin Herbert. You don't know where he eats food. You don't know where he lives. You don't know anything about Justin Herbert because it seems like he's avoided everything. They've asked him, would you go into coaching when you're done playing? Nope. Would you go into broadcasting? Nope. I'm just going to be up in Oregon fishing. He's going to disappear off the face of the planet. He doesn't like the limelight. And if she gets to the point of bringing him out of his shell and makes it so, you know what, your appearance and what people think of you matter, maybe it matters more to us as fans that we always say, why don't you speak up more? And we don't know if he does or doesn't. As much as Aaron Rodgers gets on my nerves for dropping Seasucker on TV and everything that he does, I want to see Justin Herbert get upset. I want to see him get upset when things aren't going well and it seems like the organization's not supporting him. I like the fact he's coming out of his shell. She's the kind of girl that I think is going to ask or going to demand him to ask for more in life. By the way, she's pretty hot too. Just bring that out there. Like, I'm just straight up be honest. I don't want to come off as a perv because Mario made it that way. Dude, she gets smoking hotter every time I see her. How about that? I'll be honest with you. She's great. Good for him.
Does she make the Chargers better? It sounds like you believe she's going to make the Chargers better.
I don't know if she makes the Chargers better. I'm worried about him getting in a motorboat accident. I'll tell you that.
You need to calm down.
Jeez, dude, you got to pack it in. You got to pack it in.
I kind of agree with you, though. I think this is a good thing for Justin Herbert. Get him out of his shell a little bit. Put him a little bit in the LA limelight. She's not going to Oregon to go fishing. She's going to keep him down in LA. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm grasping for something here, but I like it.
Just don't break his heart.
Herbert showing his face. If she breaks his heart, it's not a good thing, right? Yeah. I hope they stay together. We need him to focus on, the field, and he has that on the side after the games. Good for him. But I really do think it is a good thing to bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah, watch out, Taylor Swift, you bum.
Dude, much hotter than Taylor Swift.
Okay, so she's a singer though, right? Because
I don't
I'm
know
not
what
even
she
trying to
is.
be mean. I've never
I
heard
thought she's a
one
model.
song.
No, am I wrong? I don't
I
know.
thought
What
she
she
was a
is.
singer.
I
I
don't know.
think she's a singer. I'm not familiar with her work, but believe she's a singer.
Yeah, same here. I feel like I always have a hot take that speaking, I'm just letting it rip. That if you really want to be a great musician, the face is half of it. I think that's that hot of a take. Bad Bunny,
No.
he's a good looking dude.
You
Ed
compared it
Sheeran
to
kind
Bad
of defeats
Bunny?
it.
Wait, you just
What?
compared her to Bad Bunny?
Wait,
No,
what?
I mean like it being a famous singer. 50% of it's being good looking.
And then you went to Bad Bunny.
I mean, I was just trying to hit both sides, you know. So like Beyonce, very beautiful.
You don't backtrack now. You said what you
Bad
said.
Bunny's very good looking. Justin Timberlake, very good looking. You have Shakira, very good looking. You know, Rihanna, very good looking. Madison
Dude,
Beer.
thank God he's not dating Rihanna. Rihanna is bad luck. Every
Oh,
guy
dude,
she
Dave.
dates seems to go right in this.
Dave has a whole thing about Rihanna.
Yeah, she's the
Who,
jinx.
what athlete did she date? She's been
Matt
dating
Kemp.
rappers.
Matt Kemp, LA Dodgers. Dodger fans know what I'm talking about. Guy should
Oh.
have been MVP in 2011. As soon as he started dating Rihanna, right in the toilet. Every guy she's ever dated that was an athlete ended up having a horrible year.
All right.
Seems like they didn't want to work.
I don't know. Maybe they
here
had the
I'm all-
jelly legs. Maybe she made them work. I don't know what to tell you.
You missed it because of the song "Work." So that was
I'm
He's
sorry.
not familiar with.
I am
Jalen
actually.
Song. I got you.
I think
got
I have
you.
it on my phone.
Thank you. There's someone commenting that's gonna laugh at that one. Whoever does, I can't see your comment right now because I'm on a freaking iPad. But I appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna transition these comments. The show's going off the rails completely. So
Oh.
first one comes from Young West. $5 says, I would want to face the Chargers in the playoffs if I was a playoff team. Why? Because we haven't proved we can win a playoff game. Until then, I'll defer. Okay, so he's saying if you're another team, you'd want to play the Chargers because we're bad in the playoffs, or Justin Herbert might be bad in the playoffs, is what I'm assuming he's saying. What do you think?
All right. In my opinion, that's the reputation of this organization. I understand it. Dude, I wouldn't want to face a Jim Harbaugh team. I mean, the guy has a reputation of being a winner. I wouldn't. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Justin Herbert, as you said, Josh, at the beginning of the show, when he runs, he's right there as the number one quarterback in this league. All right. So some people are starting to say, hey, this guy's top 5. It doesn't matter. We all know how good Justin Herbert is. You're crazy if you want to face a Jim Harbaugh team in the postseason and at any level.
Yeah, I'm with Dave on this one. Jim Harbaugh has a track record of winning. Justin Herbert's going to get that playoff win. I think the Texans game was a complete outlier. 2 of the interceptions weren't Justin Herbert's fault. I'm not making excuses for Justin Herbert, but that just wasn't his game. The Jaguars, I think, was much on the coaches as it was the players. Chargers 100% should win. When you're up by 27 points, no brainer. You got to win that
It's
game.
not the goddamn defense in that game. They scored every freaking drive from the last drive of the first half to every drive in the second half. That's not on Herbert.
We're not going to revisit this.
We just
okay.
did.
I would rather play the Patriots. I'd rather play the Texans. I'd rather play the Jaguars than play the Chargers. I'd rather play the Ravens. I know they have Lamar Jackson. At this point, Chargers are definitely better than the Ravens. I'd rather play the Chargers. I'd rather play the Steelers than the Chargers. I think the Chargers are top 3, top 4 teams in the AFC. I wouldn't want to play the Chargers.
Yeah, I can see the argument why you'd want to because of, again, Herbert's history. I would say there's maybe 3 teams in the AFC I wouldn't want to face. I don't know if Chargers are really there. It's like a 3-peat for me.
All right, next one
What
comes
are
from
the, hold
Matt.
on. What are the 3 teams you don't want to face off the top of your head?
I don't want to face the Chiefs.
Okay.
I don't want to face the Bills. I just don't want Josh Allen's heroism. And then I don't want to face the Broncos because you have to face them 3 times. And the 3rd time, I'm worried that Payton has you figured out. Like, I'd rather split with the Broncos.
I really would. A perfect scenario for me would be for the Chargers to end Joey Bosa's season against the Bills.
That would be pretty nice. I think also facing the Colts in the playoffs, I'd want to.
Yeah, we can't. I don't think we can beat the Colts right now. We have time. We have half a season to go.
That's what I mean. And that, I don't know, them having to beat us twice, I'll take.
Matthew Dahl 199 says, I thought our yellow jerseys were bad. The Steelers are trash. Dude, they're both really bad. For me, they're both. The Steelers are definitely worse, but I really hated the Chargers all yellow uniforms.
Yeah, it was funny. It's part of my rant today is about these uniforms. The Steelers wore 1933 uniforms. I don't know why you'd bring those back. I mean, what the hell? I mean, wasn't that after Prohibition? So everyone was just tanked when they designed those uniforms in 1933. Did people in 1933 who were drunk off their ass realize how bad those uniforms were then? So we're going to bring them back in 2025. Absolutely ridiculous. And look, the NFL needs to do something. The Players Association can complain all they want. The field in Pittsburgh is a goddamn disaster. It always has been. It's a mess. It was so bad they used it in Batman. I mean, it's a horrible field. They need to turf it out. You know, I know the NFL wants to get away from these sports turf fields. Pittsburgh needs a sports turf field. It's not safe for anybody to play on that field.
Always have the worst field, right? Pittsburgh. I mean, dude, they never even fixed it after the Batman movie. They just let it sit there.
They just let it fall.
Yeah.
It's the end of the Big Ben era.
Yeah. AK 499 says, unclear, Dave. The only time I'm going against you is December 2nd, 2025, ACC SEC challenge when your Tar Heels are coming up to Rupp Arena to get their ass kicked. Go Cats. All right, I'm completely confused, AK. How many different teams do you root for in different states?
All right, so I didn't even know, by the way. Mario might have known that. So December 2nd, at Rupp Arena, which is in Kentucky, the ACC SEC challenge. He says the Tar Heels will take on. Is he saying Alabama? Is that what he's saying?
No, he's saying
they take on
North
Kentucky.
Carolina, Kentucky. He likes Kentucky.
Yeah. All right, fine. I hate Kentucky. I'm still root for the Tar Heels. So with the other two guys on the show.
They always play like around my birthday every year. My birthday's the day after. It's been happening since I was like 6. And one of my closest friends growing up is a Kentucky fan.
Yeah.
And every year he texts me like, happy birthday. And it's an FU if Tar Heels win, or it's Go Cats if North Carolina loses. It's a tradition like any other. And AK, you can't join that tradition.
AK 199 says, it's time. I don't know what this means.
It's time for him to step up outside of football. I think he's talking about Herbert.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I like it. I like that he's dating Madison Beer. It's not going to make or break my day if they break up. Like, some people are so invested in that relationship. A little bit odd, I'd say, for sure. I'm not one of those people, but I'm happy for him.
Me too, man. I hope I see him on more Laker games. I hope we see him doing more public things. If he was, let's see, today is Monday. If he was at the World Series today in the front row, I'd be happy to see that too.
I'll take an invite to the wedding.
You gonna leave your laptop behind again?
All right. If you could have known that, like, the anxiety was bad yesterday, but holy hell did it spike when I did not see that laptop in that backpack. Woo!
Dude, this was a terrible trip for the show, just so you know. Your 5-year-old nephew spiked your microphone and broke it.
Yep.
And then you leave the laptop behind. And you were late. And you missed the show because you were stuck in traffic driving to Indiana.
No,
this was not
trust
a good
me,
trip for the show.
I am very well aware of every L I took this weekend. I am fully aware of everything that went wrong. And there's even more stuff that went wrong that I'm not going to talk about on air. But it's all that matters. It's a good story.
All right. You look good in your tux. I saw you on Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram pictures look great.
Thank you. I thought I looked. Yeah, I was pretty proud of how I looked.
This girl that I was with actually asked who you were. She saw my phone. She's like, who's that guy? So
look at
that's
that.
good for you.
Oh, looks like I'm moving to Nashville. How we doing?
I just made that up. But, dude, you look really good.
Damn it.
Why don't you just let it play out? Why do you got to break that?
Funny thing is, dude, we're like getting ready, and I was like, that's one of my buddies. Like, yeah, do I look good? He goes, yeah, you look like a blank and grease ball. And I was like, that's okay.
Jeez.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate
The
it.
guy's not going to be writing for Hallmark anytime soon.
Yeah,
so.
no kidding.
No, sir.
Dave did his rants. I don't know if you have something else to say.
No. I'll finish my rant. That was just part of it. Look, the uniform thing is out of control. All right. I'm telling you, it's all a moneymaker. We all know how it works in every sport. Okay. The Cleveland Cavs a couple years ago were insane. I mean, I don't know how many guiding jerseys LeBron James had when he played for Cleveland in like 2016. It was ridiculous. The worst ones were the basketball uniforms with the sleeves that were obviously too tight because every guy walked on the court trying to stretch the sleeves out because they were tied down. But in every sport, the baseball uniforms, the Padres ones, they won their City Connect ones they used to wear on Friday nights that looked like sherbet ice cream that were really Miami colors. Completely embarrassing. It's just too many goddamn uniforms. As a fan, this is all we want. We want to be able to turn the TV on. Who's playing and who's the home team, right? Dude, I still don't like in the NBA where the home team doesn't wear the lighter uniform. I don't like when they wear the road uniforms at home. What are we doing here? You never did that in the past. So it was always that the Lakers wear yellow, obviously, at home most of the time. But when you sit there and you go, why are we wearing purple, or why are we wearing black, or are we a home game or not a home game? It was just easy to explain to a non-sports fan in the room about how it worked, who the home team was. Also, when you see Lakers across the floor that 50 yards wide, that's a pretty good sign you're the home team. Stop asking me questions in the room. It wears me out. Speaking of that, NCAA, as I'm all over the place right now, that goddamn tournaments, I never know what city they're in. Everyone has the exact same court. I don't know what city they're in anymore. It used to be back in the day, you ran the goddamn tournament, you just kept the home court. So if the game was at San Diego State, they're playing at San Diego State because there's a big Aztec in the middle of the court. Now everyone has an NCAA court. It's ridiculous. But these uniforms are insane. I don't like it. Too many. It's all about jersey sales and everything else. Our gold uniforms out of control. Chargers, on that hand, have the coolest uniforms going, home and away. Our all-white ones are cool as hell. Our powder blue ones with the white pants, cool as hell. We don't need to change a damn thing. Steelers, you had good uniforms. Yesterday, you looked ridiculous, and you played ridiculous. Okay? I don't even like the Packers who weren't all white. I don't even understand that's about. Even though Khalil Mack had a tackle in that game, according to Mike Tirico, it sucked. I just wanted to keep it the same. By the way, I did kind of dig the fact that the Broncos wore their uniforms from the 80s, 70s, 80s. That looked kind of cool against the Cowboys. It was the same uniforms they wore, I think, in the 1977 Super Bowl. I don't know why the Broncos would agree to that crap. They lost that game. But either way, I kind of like the throwback if you have a little bit of a history there. So the uniform thing is out of control. Tired of it. I want to be able to turn the TV on and know who's the home team and who's playing. That's all I ask. But it's the Texans ones yesterday looked like they were at a goddamn disco. What the hell's going on? You see the ones the Texans were wearing? Yeah. Embarrassing.
It looked like Miami Vice.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It looked like they're at a goddamn rave. I thought people in Houston were supposed to be tough.
We also can't leave the show without mentioning, shout out Antonio Gates. He joins the scandal. Yeah.
Is anybody surprised?
I saw somebody said on Twitter, the Chargers are the only franchise that can make you feel good on Thursday and then kick you in the nuts on Sunday because Antonio Gates snooze, which is crazy that the Chargers can pull that off. Like that ruined my weekend. I was so upset.
Are you surprised? I'll ask a question to both of you guys. Seriously, are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised of any athlete that's caught up in this right now.
I mean, honestly, I'm not.
I don't get the risk. I don't get the risk.
Okay, someone asked me that today. All right, it was funny. I did a TV hit this morning, and they were asking me, "How does this happen?" And I said, "It happens because we all know. I mean, let's be honest. We all know the mafia doesn't exist. Okay, because no one here wants to be attacked by the mafia. It's just one of those things that's in movies. It doesn't exist. But dude, all it takes is one person to say, "Dude, I'm gonna kill your kid," right? And then you're like, "All right, dude, I'm throwing the game. I'll do whatever you want." Right? It's a threat. There are rumors. Referees go through this all the time in every sport too. You like your daughter, guess what? I can make things really bad for your daughter. And what are you going to do? You're going to collect double holding calls if you're a referee to make sure the game goes a certain way. That's the way it goes. So when you talk about, it's not a matter of just the pocketbook. It's a matter of the health of my family. And when someone threatens to injure somebody in your family, you do crazy things. You do anything to keep your family alive.
Yeah. Josh, really quickly, not to make this comparison but really bad luck by the NFL. I think this weekend too, with the Ravens lying on their injury report, saying that Lamar Jackson was a full participant in practice on Friday when he was not. Mislead everyone that he is starting. And then yesterday, Josh, how many terrible calls did you see yesterday? Amidst everything that's going on in the NBA, of what is coming out, this was not the weekend to have this many screw-ups. I'm not saying, the Ravens are involved in some gambling scandal. I don't think that's it. I'm not saying any ref is in the NFL. I'm saying to have this look out right after this happens, just really bad timing. And if I'm Goodell, I'm pissed off to high hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens thing's ridiculous with the injury report. There's too much money, fantasy football, there's gambling lines, all that. You can't lie. I hope they get punished the way they should. And then the NFL officiating has been bad. I mean, worse than usual, I'd say, this season for sure.
So John Harbaugh says there was nothing wrong. Of course he's going to say there was nothing wrong. It was bad all the way around. I don't know if he was doing it for a gambling line or if John Harbaugh was doing it just to try and get an edge over the Bears, but it's not a good look. We all know why the injury report comes out on Thursdays. I mean, it's all about gambling. Always has been, even before it was legal everywhere. But yeah, it's not a good look. And the NFL honestly should fine the Ravens and John Harbaugh a ton of money. I almost cussed right there. A ton of money. You know,
They
by the
just
way,
always got to blame the Italians for no reason.
Mike G asked, what happened to Gates? You can look it up, Mike, but basically his name's been brought up in a gambling ring of an illegal poker game.
Yeah, down in Miami, I believe. Yep. All right. I'm good on my end.
Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, he already got in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, it's like, all right, I got my jacket. What are you guys going to do? Take it?
Yeah. We're going to be doing the show on Wednesday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. 2 o'clock, excuse me, 2 o'clock Pacific time. Cool.
Mario, you going to have the computer FedEx to you?
It's going to be literally here by 8 a.m. this morning. Tomorrow morning.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Dude, it's
all good.
So we're good.
All right. So again, thank everyone again for joining us. Enjoy the Monday Night Football games. Enjoy the World Series. I'll apologize right now because I guess I offended people who said cross the line on my motorboat accident, but whatever. I thought it was a funny line. Anyway,
it was funny.
Thanks. All right. So we'll be back again Wednesday, 2 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks again for joining us. Bolt Crew Podcast. Please like and subscribe. That's Mario Heron at the bottom of the screen. Josh Palais, Dave Palais. We'll see you in a couple days, everybody.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the Bolt Crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the Bolt Crew, best up in the business. It's the Bolt Crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.